The Edmonton Oilers drafted center Leon Draisaitl with the 3rd overall pick in June's 2014 NHL entry draft. He's a rookie, learning the NHL ropes. But is he in the pro ranks, the top-level NHL ranks at that, too soon? Would he benefit from playing another season in major junior hockey? The only option the Oilers would have besides having him play in the NHL would be to send him back to the junior Prince Albert Raiders in the Western Hockey League.
And I think he should stay, and I cannot fathom why people out there think he'd be better off playing junior in Prince Albert, which is not a great team. He'd be playing 30 minutes a game, and he might backslide into some bad habits because he's got to play 35 minutes a game. This is not a 175-pound player. This is a 215-pound player. And he's going to go back to junior playing against an awful lot of 175-pound players that he's much bigger than. And like you said, he'll play his 30 minutes a game, coast through shifts because he's got to play 30 minutes a game instead of 13 hard ones in the NHL, and I don't think he's going to get any better. You can improve in practice playing against NHL players. You don't necessarily have to improve every game. You can still improve in the practices and then take that into the games.
Yeah, he is a little bit of an anomaly in that respect, that he does have the size, and that's very often one of the reasons players are sent back a little quicker than others. I mean, Jonathan Drouin's a perfect example of that. Tampa Bay, he went back, come back, he's bigger than he was last season, and he had to put on some weight. But Draisaitl's got the size. It's just a matter of, again,
the pace of the game is overwhelming to him a bit.
But it's not gonna improve when he's playing if he was back in Prince Albert.
No, right? And as somebody suggested this morning, it's like trying to merge onto a highway when you're at a learner's permit. It's going awful fast, and you're trying not to get in a crash. And some games he does look like the pace is too much for him. But the pace is also too much for guys that have played in the league for 10 years too. If they turn the puck over, they have trouble getting back too.
While Draisaitl is still a teenager, he is a big player even by pro standards, standing 6'1" and weighing about 215 pounds. But more than that, Draisaitl has shown an early maturity.
His psyche is a mature psyche. He's aware of his limitations. He seems, right from the first day of training camp, he seems to have understood, okay, this is going to be a process for me. Although in training camp and preseason, he looked very good. Like a lot of players, I think he's finding his range, understanding what he can do right now and what he'll have to wait longer to achieve and so forth. But there's a lot of players that whose minutes, as Jim has suggested, have been rationed. With Eberle and Hall, I mean, they were rationed early on, spotted in situations they were more likely to succeed in. I think that Draisaitl is a thoroughbred, and it'll, like any player, it'll take a while to get comfortable. But to me, he does things every game that I watch. I mean, not every shift, but you see things and you think, man, he's so close.